Hi, I'm Pip and I'm the founder of Pip Nut. We are an all-natural nut butter brand that's totally delicious. We make all sorts of different flavors from a peanut butter right the way through to kind of almond butters and more interesting flavors like our coconut almond butter. So yeah, we're palm oil free, completely natural and sold in all sorts of supermarkets up and down the UK. Yeah, I think when I first had the idea of the business, I think it's one thing having an idea, but then it's like the idea of how do you create it an actual tangible product. And I think when you walk into a supermarket, as a regular consumer buying stuff, you have absolutely no idea how things make it onto the supermarket shelf. So I was really coming at it as like zero experience whatsoever. So I did what I guess the thing that I knew what to do, which was literally making it in my kitchen. And then I took it down to kind of market stores in South London. And I think that step of kind of getting something out of your head and into something that's physical and tangible, even if it's not necessarily the kind of brand or the look and feel that you're looking to land long term, it's like such an important step. And I did like markets for 3-4 months where I'd make a few hundred jars during the evenings, and then I'd take them to markets in sort of Bermondsey markets in South London. And it gave me a real test bed of like, what do people like about the products? Did anyone actually want to buy them in the first place? And I guess from a recipe testing perspective, I tweaked and changed all the recipes, played around with them, created different flavors, and started to get a feel for like maybe what would actually work. But then I think once you do that, and if my aspiration was always to have a brand that you could find in people's homes up and down the UK, I think that next step of like, how do you scale it up? How do you figure out how to make it that next step is often the hardest bit. So it actually took from idea to getting it onto shelf about 2 years. I thought when I first started it would take 6 months, but actually finding the right partners who could make your product. So finding a factory that would work with me, raising money was one of the big hurdles that I had to leap over. Often, getting your first production out the door, all these kind of big milestones that kind of stretched over a 2-year period. But I would say when you're starting something up and when it's something that you don't have a lot of experience in, I do think it's about taking it step by step, kind of learning what you need to do at any given moment and not trying to kind of do everything at once, because it will just take time as you learn the process and wait for people to get back to you. And for me, the most important thing is surround yourselves with people that are in a similar position to you. Email, phone, reach out to people in the industry that you're going into to kind of understand a little bit more about what you need to do and get kind of the jargon and lingo sort of landed, and just ask loads of really stupid questions, because at this stage you've really got nothing to lose. And I found that people were super generous with what kind of advice they had to offer. And I would email some of my favorite brand owners and CEOs and founders to kind of ask their advice. And it was some of those nuggets of advice that was the most useful bits of information that I found across starting up the business. So take it day by day, start small and test it before start scaling it up. And then when you do start to scale it up, it's all about finding the right partners who can work with you to kind of really take that next step, whether that's manufacturers or branding agencies to investors. So yeah, really make sure you take time and sort of invest time to kind of find the right people.